This is the introduction video of geometry, and in this video we are going to talk about undefined terms in geometry. So before that, we should have to understand what is a definition of undefined terms. In geometry, definitions are formed using known words or terms to describe a new word, but undefined terms are terms that are accepted without definition. Now what does it mean? It means an undefined term is a term or word that doesn't require any further explanation or description. It will already exist in its most basic form. However, the reason that you need to have a basic understanding of these terms is because they are used to define and explain more complicated terms and concepts as you move further on in geometry. There are three words in geometry that are not formally defined. These three undefined terms are point, line, and plane. Right? So the first undefined term is a point. Now what is a point? Point in geometry is a location, or you can say it's a spot. It's just a location. Point has no dimension. It means it has no length, no width, no depth. Point is usually represented by a dot. Means you can represent a point by a dot, or you can say full stop. Fourth, we name point using one capital letter. Means the thing which you should know that we can name a point by using a capital letter. Let's take an example. So this is point B. What I have written here? I have written B in capital. You can use any alphabet, right? But you have to write that alphabet in capital letter. As I have used B here. This is point B. Right? Now next, the second undefined term is a line. Now what is a line? A line is basically a series of points that extends in opposite direction without end. Right? Means a line has no ends in both the direction. Second, it is one dimensional. Right? Third, line has an arrowhead on each end. Why? Because it represents the fact that it goes on forever, means it never ends, whether you are extending from the other side or from that side. Fourth, a line is always straight. Right? A line is always straight. We can name a line by using lowercase script letter or by 2 points on the line. Right? As you can see in the next example, we have 2 points and those points are connected by a double-headed arrow, and those 2 points are A and B. We can name this line as line L by using a small letter, or we can name it by using the capital letters, or capital letter means a point AB with a symbol of line. As you can see here, line BA or line BA, and I have drawn a symbol of line which with 2 arrowheads. Right? So we can name a line in 3 ways. Either you can use a small letter as we have written here line L, or you can use the capital letters as line AB, line BA. All the 3 are correct. You can write any one of them. Right? And the third undefined term we have plane. Now what is a plane? It is a flat surface that extends forever in 2-dimensional length and width. A line was 1-dimensional length, but a surface of a plane has 2-dimensional, means it can extend from length and width also. Second point, it contains infinitely many points and lines. Right? It contains infinitely many points and lines. Third, it is usually represented by a four-sided figure. And the fourth, we name a plane with a capital script letter or 3 points on the surface of the plane. Let's understand this in the next slide. For example, this is a plane and we have 3 points on it, A, B, C and W at the corner. So how can we name it? We can name it, either you write plane W, or by use, if you want to use a point, so you can use plane ABC, plane BCA or plane CBA. Now what does it mean? It means you can write the name of the plane by using the capital letter, but it is not necessary to write in alphabetical order only, right? You can write plane ABC also, you can write BCA also and CBA also, right? So there are four ways in which we can represent a plane, or we can name a line, a plane. Okay, so in the next slide we have some more definition, and the first we have collinear points. Now what are collinear points? Three or more points are said to be collinear if they lie on a single straight line. Now what does it mean? It means when we have three points A, B and C, and you can see here in the example A, B and C lies on the same line. So we call these 3 points as a collinear points as they lie on the same line, right? So next we have non-collinear points. Now you can define this easily when 3 or more points that do not lie on the same line. Then we call it a non-collinear points. As you can see here, if we take only ABC, so this is a collinear points. Why? Because all the 3 points lie on the same line. But what if we include D also? And you can clearly notice that D is not on the line, right? So in that case A, B, C, D are non-collinear points because D is not on the line, right? Next we have intersecting lines. Now what do you mean by intersecting lines? Intersecting lines are two lines that share exactly one point. Means when two lines intersect, they intersect at a point, and this shared point is called the point of intersection. Let's understand this. What if when two lines intersect, their intersection is a point? Means when A, E intersect D, C at point B. So what is B? B is a point of intersection. When line A, E intersect D, C at point B. So when two lines intersect, their intersection is a point, right? Let's take another example. What if when two planes intersect, then their intersection is a line? Let's take an example. We can see here, shaded plane intersect the unshaded plane at line AB. When the shaded plane intersect the unshaded plane, it intersect at line AB, right? Now another example. What if when a line and plane intersect, then their intersection is a point? Let's take an example with the figure. This is a plane and it is intersected by a line. So their intersection is a point A, right? When a line and plane intersect, their intersection is a point, and we have named that point A. I hope you have understood. Next we have perpendicular lines. Now what is perpendicular lines? Lines that intersects to form right angle. Means as you have seen earlier that there could be a situation where two lines intersects, right? But what if they form a right angle between them? Now what is a right angle? Right angle is basically a 90 degree, which is equal to 90 degree. When two lines meet and intersect and the angle formed by their intersection is a right angle, these lines are called perpendicular lines, right? As and the symbol we used is this. Let's take an example. This is line A B, which is perpendicular to BD. To show perpendicular or 90 degree, we use this, right? And how will you show? By using alphabets. Example, BD line is perpendicular to AC line, or you can say line BD is perpendicular to line AC, right? And the next we have parallel lines. Now what are parallel lines? We know that intersecting lines are the lines that meet at a point, right? So definition of parallel lines is parallel lines are two or more lines which lie on the same plane and do not meet, right? Do not meet means two straight lines in a same plane that do not intersect at any point are said to be parallel. When we draw two lines on a same plane and they do not meet, even if we extend them, they do not meet, and their distance between them always remains same, then those two lines are parallel. As let's take some examples. Line L is parallel to line M, or line P is parallel to line Q. Line A is parallel to line B. Now why I'm saying these are parallels? If we measure one end of the lines, as you can see here, this should be equal to the other end if we measure the distance between two lines. And if the distance between the two lines are same, it means these lines are parallel, right? This is very easy to understand. Now next we have some of the questions which are based on the previous slides which we have read. So the first question we have, PF has two endpoints. Now what is a PF? PF is basically a line. So line PF has two endpoints. No, this is false. Why? Because PF is a line and line has no endpoints. We have read this already. If PF is a line will never ends, means it has no endpoints. So first one is false. Now the second one we have, two intersecting lines have exactly one point of intersection. Yes, when two lines intersect, the intersection is a point, mean one point. It is true. Next we have, points have no size. Yes, this is very simple. This is true. Points have no size. Next we have, line XY can be denoted as line XY or line YX. Yes, this is also true. We can name a line either in alphabetical order or in a jumbled order, but we should have to remember that we can use the capital letter, right, if we are using a point, and that should be only 2 points. We cannot use, if the line has 3 points, we cannot use all the 3 points. Okay, so this is also true. Whether you are writing line XY or you are writing line YX, both the situations are correct for line. Now the last question we have, a point is named by a capital letter. Yes, this is also true. We can name a point by using a capital letter. This is true. Now next slides we have the definitions which we have read already, the undefined terms. And the first undefined term was point. Now what is a point? A location in space A point has no size, but it is represented by a dot labeled with a capital letter. This you have already read. As you can take some examples also. This is a point and we name it as P. This is another point, we name it as Q. This is another point and we name it as R. So what you have noticed here, I have used all the capital letters to represent a point. This is the important thing. We have to use a capital letter to represent a point. Now what was the second we have read? That was line. What is a line? A series of points that extends in two opposite directions. Right? Line never ends. Line never ends. We name a line using 2 points on the line or with a single lowercase letter. Let's take an example. If this is a line L, we can name it as line L. If we have point on it, A, point B, we can name it as line AB. What if we have another point as C? So we can use line AC. Right? We can name it as AC, but we cannot use all the 3 points. We have to use only 2 alphabets of the point, and that should be in capital letter. Right? And the last we have plane. Now what is a plane? A plane is a flat 2-dimensional surface. Right? This means it has length and width also, which can extend infinitely far, and it has no thickness. Right? Let's take an example. For example, we have a plane W and it has 3 points ABC, so we can name it plane W, and W should be in capital letter. Or you can also write plane ABC, plane BCA, or plane CBA. These are the 4 ways you can write the name of the plane, but it doesn't matter you are writing in an alphabetical order or in the jumbled way. You can write in any way, but the thing which you have to remember that it should be in capital letter. Right? I hope you have understood all the 3 undefined terms. Thank you.